submarines swim, so do fish. Are they both doing the same thing? I would say no. We could get into a semantic argument about it, but they're so radically different in terms of complexity, especially, that they might as well not be doing the same thing. It's just radically different. Same thing with, airplanes and birds. So one of my biggest problems, pet peeves, and you get this a lot from fur baby people and from the purely positive crowd. A lot of times they're half serious, a lot of times they're fully serious. But they'll say, oh, now he's thinking about dogs. Just now he's thinking every time I see Dad, something bad happens. Maybe I should act out. It's disgusting. And look, whether they're kidding or not when they say it, and people like Ian Dunbar say that kind of shit all the time. Really, what I think it just illustrates the degree to which they humanize dogs. And I think people like Ian Dunbar specifically, I don't think he gives a shit. He's just trying to go commercial, and he's trying to make money. He's the worst charlatan possibly of all of them. But in any event, one thing I stress to people all the time when trying to think about whether it's animals in general or dogs in particular, objectivity is critical. Just imagine you were trying to get inside the mind of an insect, okay? Because you have about as good of a chance accurately understanding, being able to imagine what the mind of a dog is like, what the internal experience of a dog is like, as you would imagining the same thing with an insect, right? So just all notions of like parallels between you and your dog, abandon them. They're not capable of abstraction. They don't ruminate. They're not really ideational. They don't think in terms of language, right? They don't form concepts, right? And this is how a lot of people who work with animals are largely sensory. They think more in pictures. I'm not. I'm 100%, I think in terms of language, and I'm almost 100% conceptual. I think most people are probably like that. Engineers, artists, maybe not so much, musicians, but like majority of people I would say are probably more conceptually oriented. Regardless, the dogs are just so much simpler, we cannot even begin to conceptualize what their internal state is like. So it's usually a red flag if someone says, well, now he's thinking. Get the fuck away from them. Stop listening to them immediately. I mean, maybe I say that sometimes, but it's like a shorthand. You know what I mean? It's like very obvious that I'm not, theorizing about what's actually going on with a dog. I'm trying to explain it in human terms to a human. That's not really what people like Ian Dunbar are doing, I don't think, a lot of the time. Again, Ian Dunbar is just trying to make money, I think. He's just a fraud. But I think that they are very, very guilty on the purely positive side of humanizing the dogs to really a nauseating degree. Just remember, your dog isn't like you. They're much more primitive. I believe and this is just theory, but it's based upon tons of experience with dogs, hundreds of dogs, tons of reading I've done on animals in general and dogs in particular. I think they're largely in the moment. They're largely sensory driven. Tend to react to things. They don't process as they participate. These are general concepts that I think can be useful when dealing with dogs. But again, it's theoretical. I don't know what's going on with Butch right now. I don't. But here's my guess. It's like, this is a good one. This sums up what I'm talking about perfectly. If you've ever seen the movie Sling Blade, was it John Ritter? He played the gay guy in it. He's sitting down with Billy Bob Thornton, Sling Blade, and they're eating breakfast. And he's like, see, I just think you're a deep thinker. I mean, right now, what are you thinking right now? And as Sling Blade's eating, he looks at his plate, he goes, I was thinking about taking me home some of them taters. And he's like, ooh. That's what's going on with fur baby people. You know, they think like, oh, this mystical creature must be thinking about, oh, God knows what these, they're so spiritual, you know? No, they're thinking about taking them home, some of them fucking taters. They're stupid, and God fucking bless them for it. They're in the moment. Don't rob them of it. All right? They think, yeah, fine, but really, dispense yourself of that notion. For all intents and purposes, they might as well not be, because it's not human thought. Submarines and fish swim. Human beings and dogs think, but it's not all the same thing.